Oh my god. I cannot believe that. I had the audio was not recording. Holy shit. Okay. Hello Edgy, I hope you're doing okay. Oh my god, I cannot believe this. Fuck. That's the first time this has happened, I think. I humbly apologize. Humbly apologize. I'm a fucking idiot. Fuck. Okay, well... what do I want to do about this? Well... Oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with the, hello, Edgy. I don't know if I just said that yet, but, no, I'm trying to... Okay. Here is what I am going to do. Let's see here. How far back is... It's nearly like 7 minutes. Shit. You know what? No. Screw it. I'm just gonna continue. I'll leave it link. I'll leave stuff in the description later on to signify that it wasn't recording until then. So, my apologies. I'm really sorry. Okay. Regardless, I had realized too late. I should have seen it sooner. She described it all mechanically to remain detached from what had happened to her, to protect herself. Of that, I had no doubts. Still, the things she told me were almost unbearable. I had a difficult time accepting them. What was I supposed to do when I learned that my father was a rapist? How was I supposed to react to that revelation? What was I supposed to think about the fact that his blood flowed through me? I repulsed myself. Do you want all the details? What do you mean? Of the wounds he gave me. I still have scars from the things he did. If you don't believe me, I can show them to you. No, that won't be necessary. I see. That's a relief. I don't think I could have handled that right now. I hadn't turned down her offer for her sake. I only did so because I didn't think I could take any more. I averted my eyes to protect myself. Why? Had I taken my mother's word, brushing aside everything Giselle had just said and done? I knew good and well my mother was no longer in her right mind. So why had I thought her letter the truth? Why had I been unable to think rationally? There were, I believe, several factors. My childhood, my past, the witch's whispers, and above all, my own character, consumed with distrust. For everything. I had to face it now. To open my eyes once more. To look at everything I had pretended away until now. I was not completely blameless for her suffering after all. Please, continue, if you will. I left off at the point where the mistress discovered what was happening, I believe. I was sent to this mansion to atone for my sins. Sins that she didn't even commit. It was decided I would be sent here rather than being executed, which is what the mistress wanted. At first, I assumed it would be essentially a private prison. But in the carriage on the way here, I was given a letter. A letter? From whom? It didn't say, but your father was the one who ordered me here, so I guess it was him. The letter was very concise, simply explaining that there was someone already there. The Bolungar's youngest child. It didn't go into any more detail than that, but it did ask me to look after you. Do you still have the letter? I don't. The coachman took it back after I was finished. Thinking back on it now, that was rather strange of him to do. It was just a harmless letter. It was anything but. What? It wasn't my father who wrote that letter. He believes me to be dead, so he would have sincerely thought he was banishing you to an empty house in a remote forest. The writer couldn't risk leaving anything that might suggest I was still alive. Then who? My brother, I believe. Either Didier or George's, but I would guess Didier. Your brother? Why would he? I don't know. I can't imagine why he would write such a letter, or why he would want to tell you about me. I don't believe he had any ill intentions, at least. I mean, he asked me to look after you. That makes it sound like he's concerned about you. Then why doesn't he stay in contact? Why does he never respond to my letters? It's a bit late to suddenly start being concerned. No, never mind that right now. Please tell me the rest. All right. Giselle resumed her story from the day she fled the mansion, terrified by my behavior. She seemed to be putting a bit more emotion in her tone of voice now, perhaps because she could see I was more interested in this part. There was a deep sadness on her face as she described that night in the rain, listening to the thunder, when she gave up on living, and I knew I had caused it. She then told me of the time she spent in the nearby village. How, at first, life had seemed wonderful, but in time it had come crumbling down. Naturally, she wouldn't be here to tell me this if nothing had happened there. Once she was through with her tale, Giselle let out a long, heavy sigh, as though she had been holding it in for some time. I thought I could just hear faint trembling in the air as she exhaled. That is everything. Do you believe me? If you don't, if you still think I'm deceiving you, then I won't argue with you. That's fine. If that's the case, please just kill me.
Fuck, man. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Ugh. I mean, it's not illogical that someone like this would be feeling and saying these things. But shit, man. I really want her to just... God. I really want her to have something good. Why didn't you tell me this sooner? I know I wasn't very open to anything you said, but if that day, when I found you in my room, you had told me I was mistaken, and that the sin belonged to my father, it may have not turned out like this. Well, it's a little hard for folks to think with a knife to their throat, and then, considering what your father did with her with the knife, that makes sense why she became pretty petrified. The knife? What? You were holding a knife. I can't handle blades anymore. Ever since what happened, they scare me to death. Yeah. Just the sight of one in someone's hand. and I start thinking they're going to use it on me. I can't help it. I start shaking uncontrollably, growing faint of breath. The world goes white. I can't even form words. There's nothing I can do. Now I finally see. She was grimacing in pain. The day the package arrived, when you knocked my hand away, because I was scared. Because it reminded me of that time. I had assumed she was simply jumpy from a guilty conscience. I felt nauseous, realizing I had been pouring a constant stream of salt under her unmendable wounds. What a damned fool I was. Why did you get so upset at me? Why did you have to point a knife at me? Yeah, you can't really walk away from that one, dude. Unless you think that, she was plotting to hurt you. Didn't want you snooping. If you meant to sell information about me, I thought I had to do anything in my power to stop you. I'm still not convinced it was necessary. I was unarmed. I couldn't fight back. You didn't need a knife. I have nothing left anymore, so I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. You're a jerk! What you did was inexcusable. You may not have hurt me physically, but you still hurt me. Humans are frail creatures. They wound easily. Apologize. What? Apologize to me. I said, apologize. I'm sorry. Again. Put your heart into it. Convince me you mean it. I'm sorry. Again, once more. Get on your knees and shout it from your gut. I am so very sorry. Was that a laugh? Jeez, you're such a strange man. Strange? You told me to do it. Nothing's going like I thought it would. I figured even if we talked, you would just deny everything I said. I didn't think you'd actually listen to me. But you did. You listened, and you looked quite distressed by what you heard. I looked distressed? Oh yes, you sure did. I wish I had a mirror to show you. I'm sure you didn't want to believe what I said, but you didn't once accuse me of lying. You faced up to the truth, and you apologized. I seem to have the wrong impression of you as well. I didn't try to see you for who you were, instead letting myself believe you were someone to be afraid of. To be honest, I didn't like you very much. The feeling was mutual. But for some reason, I don't feel that way now. Is it guilt? I need to apologize to you too. Apologize? For what? I led the villagers here. I almost sold my soul to the devil. I tried to sell you out to save myself. And for that, I'm truly sorry. I don't understand. What? Do I need to get on my knees too? No, that's not what I meant. The blame falls on the village for falsely accusing you of stealing. You were a convenient scapegoat for the real thieves. They planned to take advantage of you from the start. That Amade was probably in on it as well, to get back at you for rejecting his proposal. Plus, giving the village a single target to let out their frustrations on would, in a way, help unify them. He used you to meet that end. In order to escape from their trap, you told them about me. But this was after I had threatened you, causing you to flee from this place. You had nothing to apologize for. Still, I still feel really bad about it. So, I'm sorry anyway. You're unexpectedly stubborn. But now that we've both apologized to each other, we can call everything square. Square? Square. We were both in the wrong. So we apologized and we forgave each other. She gave a little smile, but all I could do was stare at her, brow furrowed in perplexity, like I was looking at some bizarre fantasyland creature. The weight of our crimes was not equal. What I had done to her was so very much worse. Furthermore, I am Antonin's son. His blood flows through me. Can you honestly say you don't find me revolting? That you're willing to forgive me for that? I didn't think I would be able to. If I were her, my grudge would extend to all my family, everyone I had ever come into contact with. I can. Although, you don't need forgiveness for being his son. Being related to someone doesn't make you responsible for their sins. It wouldn't be fair to blame you for that. You're curious. What? Curious? About what? No, not that curious. You're a strange creature. I'm human, you know. Yes, I know you're human. You're making me lightheaded. Is it a medical emergency? That's quite the leap in logic. You know, I was at my lowest just a little bit ago, and now I'm laughing again. It's odd. I never expected I would recover at all. I was just as surprised as her. She had been through hell, and she had more than enough reason to despise me, to shower me with vitriol, but instead, she was smiling. And even more unexpected was the fact I felt so relieved to see it. This is cute. I'm liking that they're healing these wounds pretty nicely, or at least the surface level of them. Let's hope that that healing process goes a little deeper. I really truly wished I had gotten to know him sooner. Yes, I had fled from the mansion in fear of him, but maybe if I'd just a little more courage, enough to tell him the truth, maybe he would have listened. I had let my initial impression of him solidify too quickly. I had convinced myself he was insensitive and perpetually expressionless, save for that arctic stare. But the man sitting before me did experience sadness, pain, distress. Or, at the very least, he appeared to from where I was standing. Michael was just like me, an ordinary person. That said, there was still plenty I didn't know. I was still lacking explanations of much of his behavior. Would you mind telling me about yourself now? I'd like to get to know you better. What are you doing here in this mansion, all alone? Why do you call yourself cursed? I told you everything. It's only fair that you do the same. I have no interest in using your information for anything. I have no reason to. Or are you going to keep pushing the master and servant line? Do you still think I have no need to know? Be quiet! For the love of God, stop talking already! You always pick the worst time. What? Excuse me. What do you mean I always pick the worst time? No, I wasn't. Unbelievable. Just when I'm starting to think you might actually be a decent human being. And then you go and spout this. No. Giselle, I wasn't talking to you. Who else could it have been? I was, talking to, you know. I have a condition that forces me to vocalize objections to my own thoughts. You know, that's about as convincing as my allergic to people excuse. I still liked that one. Sorry. Weirdo. What crosses did he bear? What secrets did he keep? Maybe the truth was far beyond my reckoning. And if it was, even if he did, please, tell me everything. No matter what you say, I won't doubt your words. I will trust you, and I'm sure I can accept anything you say. Please, if you don't put it into your words, I have nothing to work with. Okay. Where should I start, though? How about the curse, then? Are you actually cursed? That's a difficult question. I cannot, for example, take someone's life with my curse, nor can I bring about disaster. I don't have any magical powers like that. So, what you said outside was a bluff, then? It was just a way to chase the villagers away. Well, you certainly did put on a convincing performance. So you can't actually curse anyone, huh? Regardless, I am human. Nothing more, nothing less. At least, I consider myself one. Others would disagree. And the reason for that has to do with my body. Your skin, hair, and eye color, right? Right. Seeing Michael under the sun, he certainly wasn't what most people would consider normal. Awe-inspiring, in fact. Giving birth to me, it broke my mother. No, I drove her mad. Not only did I appear inhuman, I'm oversensitive to sunlight. While a little light through the window isn't much of a problem, I can't be outside directly under the sun for more than a couple hours. When she realized I couldn't go out in the sun, my mother started to think I was possessed by a demon. So she banished me to the mansion until my curse was broken. Yikes. This is what religious extremists can do. That was 10 years ago. Just because you look different from them? The family's reputation was at stake too. If other nobles' houses realized they were giving refuge to an unholy creature, it would destroy the Bollingers. You saw how the villagers reacted. They called me a demon when they saw me. I suspect the rumors about the mansions played a part in that. If nobody thought the house was cursed, they wouldn't have. I'm sure you were afraid as well. You saw me and thought I was not of this world, and that I looked like a demon. I thought you looked like an angel. A what? I, at least, thought you looked more like an angel than a demon. It never crossed my mind that you thought that you might be evil. understand your situation now. Because of your appearance, you lived all alone in this dark mansion for 10 years. It was never really an inconvenience. They bring me all the supplies I need. You big liar. Have you never considered running away? That's not an option. Because of the sun? No, I can move during the night if I really wanted to. I'm being watched to ensure I don't leave. Watched? They can't allow anyone to find out I am alive. Particularly the Bullinger estate. If I were to run, and they were to find out, I would probably be killed. If only I didn't stand out so much, I might be able to stay out of sight easier. But also, I had been holding out a little hope, I think. No. You two are really... Yeah, you guys are made for each other. Despite all that, kept trying to hang on to anything, any possibility of positivity in the future. Hope that might be able to return someday. I've all but given up that hope now, though. Not that I ever had enough willpower to really fight for it. I see. You don't need to worry about pitying me either. It's long since become normal to me. It's not something that should ever become normal. So, what was that really a moment ago? You don't actually have a condition that makes you argue with yourself, do you? Please tell me. You don't have to believe me. In fact, I doubt you will. You're free to think I'm completely mad. Don't worry, I want to know. I can hear the witch's voice. The witch's voice? It started when I first arrived at the mansion. No one else can hear it either. Like I said, it sounds crazy. Not at all. I said I would trust you, so I believe you. Maybe he's not well. Yeah, that has to be it. 10 years all alone in one place and you're bound to start hearing things. He seems like a delicate person too. Thinking about it like that, I'm starting to feel really sorry for him. Do I want to know what you're thinking? I'm here for you. Huh? I've made up my mind. I'm going to stay here with you. Wait, what? Don't worry. I'll shout so loud you won't be able to hear that silly witch's voice anymore. But will you now? If you hear it again, let me know, understood? You don't have to be afraid. I never said I was... Whenever you hear it, I'll be there with you, holding your hand. Well, we kind of took the extremely long route, but there you have it. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Master. Master. Now, where should we begin? I know, supper. Are you hungry? What should I make? Slow down, please. What is it? If there's anything you'd like, I'm happy to accommodate. You actually intend to stay here again? After what happened last time? Because of what happened. Because of that, we're finally able to see past each other's surface. I want us to try again, from the beginning. And this time, actually try to be considerate of one another's feelings. That's a promise, Master. All right. I can stay here, right? I don't mind. I'm glad to hear it. Say, yes, Master? If you ever want something from me, could I please ask you to put it into words? I don't have much faith in my ability to pick up on things. Got it! And here's something to start with. What do you say we open some of these windows? Open the windows? Yeah. We don't have to... We think it'll cause you problems, but it'd be nice to get a little light in here. I'd like to put an end to this house being a dark, closed-off cave. I wasn't the one who barred the windows. You weren't? They were like that when I arrived. Made it seem like a very appropriate place to lock me away. While I am sensitive to the light, yes, as I mentioned, a little sun through the windows shouldn't cause any problems. Alright then. Can I ask you to help me open them? Let's both lighten the place up. After a few moments of silence, Michael gave me a curt nod. While we couldn't do anything about the windows that had been boarded up, the two of us forced open the ones that were just covered with rusted-over shutters. When we got to the first one open, a beautiful stream of light, like nothing I had ever seen before. Flooded into the dark mansion's halls. I had assumed that spring would never come. All we had to do was talk to each other, listen to each other, and everything else would fall into place. But it was that first step that was so hard, so much harder than either of us had expected. And now that ice was melting, we had to treasure that. It might not have seemed like much to someone else, but to us, it was a huge accomplishment. Oh my god, that was good. Oh my god, I am so happy, so happy that they had that heart-to-heart. Ah. And now here's the question. Now that they've opened up to each other, are they going to slowly reveal more that we aren't unaware of? Or if they're going to have a relationship that keeps growing stronger and stronger, where does this lead? Do they become very romantically interested in each other? Do they, just become mutual friends? But then also at the same time, what does that relationship do later into the story? I'm really curious, because this was such a big part of the story so far behind this door, was them not being open to one another. That drove a lot of the plot so far. So now, where do we go from here? This time, it'll all work out. It has to. I had all the confidence in the world when we were together. But now that I'm alone, in the dark, in the absolute silence of the night, I'm starting to get anxious again. Starting to feel like something bad is going to happen. Like I'm going to mess something up again. We took a big step today, and I know I have to keep it together, to keep thinking positive. Oh, fuck. Forgive me if I, okay, whatever, I will. The goods you're after, Giselle, are not cheap. Understand? I don't really like reading this guy's lines. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the woman hath committed 3 sins. She has lied, she has stolen, and she has betrayed her fellow man. It's all right. It's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of, Giselle. Whatever happens, you have to hold fast to your faith in the goodness of others. You have no reason to tremble. Huh? Yes, come in. That's odd. I don't think I was hearing things. There's no one here. What was all that about? Oh? A glass. It's wine, and it's so warm. I guess he heated it on the fire for me? Aw, that's a nice gift. That's a nice gift. Oh, you could have at least said hi. I have a feeling this is going to work out. Aw, it's so cute. Finally, something good. Oh, that was so cute. But we're not done, are we? Because you seem pretty distraught as the maid. The light shining in through the windows is swallowed whole by the darkness, as if to say our time together never actually existed. We saw it, though. Together, we watched the light crack open the darkness. I'm begging you, please remember. Please find yourself. Please, Giselle, don't let the things you felt, the warmth that fell over us, remain lost to you. I might have seen it. Seen the most beautiful light. Giselle. But are those truly my memories? Could they not have been someone else's tale, like all the others we have seen so far? She was so bright and energetic, and I am neither of those. Well, given all the trauma you went through, that changes folks. Besides, the maid needs not a tale of her own. Oh, come on now. This is not a story. These are memories. Mine and your memories, no one else's. It was all very much real. As were the kinder, happier days that came next. Kinder, happier days. Those words create a strange warmness in my chest. But at the same time, they make me indescribably anxious. Is there really happiness to be found down that road? Even if our past doesn't lead to happiness, it couldn't be worse than where we are right now. Come, Giselle, to the spring that made us more than just strangers. I think in life, when you have an absolute tragic event transpire, something that can at least keep you afloat is like the good times before that. And even if something horrible happens after this, if these are going to be really good days that they're alluding to, you know, then that time period is the stuff that you have to hang on to in order to pull yourself back out. It's hard to try to cling to things like that when you're at the bottom, but that's literally the only thing you can use to get out in some cases. Master, come on, get up. Up with you. Master! This is that one scene. There we go. Yeah, we're off to a good start. What? See, what did I tell you? It's so much nicer in here with a little light. Morning? Wait a sec. Don't you hide under your bedspread? Get out of there. I'm fine with my room staying dark. What's she even doing here? Oh, but Master, you agreed that I could open the windows. I did, yes. Don't worry, I've put curtains up. If it gets too bright, you can draw them. Mornings take the best parts of being outside and squeeze them all into the same few hours. You don't have to go out in light for it either. Just listen to all the wonderful sounds. The joyous songs of the birds, the swaying of the trees, the rustling of leaves. Am I being pushy as I feel right now? Kind of. Yeah. But you wouldn't be you if you weren't. So for now, I won't get on you about it. Also, now that I know your real intentions, no, never mind. I completely misjudged you. You're the exact opposite of what I thought you were. What did you think of me? Let's see. I thought you were cold and cruel, heartless and incomprehensible. Yeesh. But I'm beginning to get a better idea. You try to put on airs, but you're really rather childish. You have a short temper, but you can be surprisingly playful. What else? You have a pretty difficult personality, too. There's not a single good trait on this list. No, hear me out here. That's not everything. You gave me a chance to talk, and you listened intently. You can be kind of nice, too. We agreed that we would live together, not just in the same house. So we've got plenty of time to add more to the list. And I hope you can make your own list about me, too. This is just the beginning, after all. We've got a long, long time ahead of us. Plenty enough to get to know each other, no? Let's not waste any time, then. What do you say we do something today that we haven't been able to before? Where should we begin? Oh, I know. We get this place cleaned up. You want to clean? Now that there's some actual light in here, we can see all sorts of things we'd probably rather not. Like dust. All over the place. My vision was still slightly unfocused, having not completely escaped from Morpheus's embrace, but I could see well enough to catch her smiling brightly. That was the first time I had gotten a good look at her in the light. I could see facial features I'd missed during yesterday's commotion, and those glittering eyes. Not even a trace of the tribulation had endured tainted her pure jade eyes. She's surprisingly good-looking. I am clearly not myself right now. Is something the matter, Master? I know, you're still half asleep, aren't you? I guess I'm just gonna have to throw my best bucket of water on you. What is a best bucket of water? I'm awake. Is there something on my face, then? Just far too assuming a sight to wake up to. I'm sorry, amusing. Amusing? Oh, just get out of bed already. What a noisy morning. I got my first decent look at Michael's face under the light that morning, watching him stifle as a yawn as he crawled out of bed. All little details I hadn't been able to pick up in the darkness, his expressions, mannerisms, and the way he looked at me. I could see facial features I had missed during yesterday's commotion, in those vivid, all-consuming red eyes. I was probably, no, almost most certainly, making a really dumb face at him. Huh? Is this just me, or is he kind of, no, very pretty? How could I have not noticed until now? Oh, jeez, wow, I can't even look him in the eyes. Yes, what can I do for you? Is there something on my face? What? No, Huh? Hair monster? Excuse me? No, your hair, it's Really long. Yes, that's it. Way too long. Oh, is that any way for a servant to speak to her master? I'm just kidding. I don't have any interest in holding your status against you anymore. I see. It's really hard to tell if he's joking or not. So, about that cleaning. May I wash my face first? What? You're going to help? As I just said, I'm not going to act like I'm superior to you anymore. What are you snickering about? I can't help it. I'm happy. Yes! Ah. If my hair really does bother you, you can cut it. Huh? I can cut it. Look, I got hair past my shoulders, folks. I don't think I'd get it that long though. I love my long hair, but not that style. Of course, I'll give you the best haircut you've ever had. But I should warn you, you'll want to stay perfectly still. I'm a monster with a pair of scissors. My sister always said you were as likely to lose an ear as you were to your hair whenever I cut it. Oh my gosh, sorry. You stay away from me. This is great. I was shocked at how much more comfortable I felt around her only one day following our opening up to each other. Maybe this was normal, and simply never felt it before. I didn't know. I had thought it would take years of work to get close enough to someone to be able to have a conversation without picking apart every little detail. But here I was, a day later, already there. Was that how it usually worked? Did people normally get close and draw apart so freely? I didn't understand it unpleasant to have someone else around. It was a strange feeling. All that friction had dissipated in an instant. And it was like we had known each other for years. Though not entirely willingly, we began sharing meals, something I had always done by myself. Hey, I see you shoving aside that parsnip. You need to eat everything. Do you have any idea there's so much rotting parsnip in the cellar? I don't care for it. Well, that makes sense. You could at least pretend to be ashamed. Yeesh, you're not a kid, so don't be so picky. Well, I mean, come on. With his condition, he might have other, conditions that dictate his diet. It's not good for you. Hasn't caused any problems thus far. It will soon enough. I can't believe you. We have limited supplies, and you won't eat your vegetables? Nah, you're just eating the wrong ones, dude. Ooh, question, I've got an idea. Go on. Is the list of supplies sent by your family set in stone? Meaning? I was just wondering if it would be possible to make requests. If I could, I would go out on a shopping trip. Perish the thought. The only village around here is the one you came from. Right. Say, are you saying that out of concern for... Who would ever be concerned about you? I just want to be able to sleep well at night. And I'm not interested in throwing more servants to the lions. You know, you're a whole lot simpler of a person than I first thought. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nothing. Back to your question about the delivery. Yes, you can. I haven't made any requests recently, but you can write what you want on a sheet of parchment, or, if you don't have any, something similar. Put it in the box and leave it outside. As long as your request is not completely unreasonable, it should arrive with the next package. Why? Is there something you need? Yeah, I was hoping to increase our selection of vegetables. And while I'm at it, if possible... Actually, that's a secret. A secret? It's nothing too exciting. I'll tell you when the time is right. My relationship with Michael gradually transitioned from master and servant to something closer to friends. He was still my master, but he allowed me almost complete freedom, and he didn't order me around either. He even gave me a hand with my work. Though he was still not very talkative and oftentimes hard to read, he at least seemed to be making an effort to close the gap. He would, on occasion, tell me about himself, though not in much detail, and anytime his family came up, he grimaced uncomfortably. Apparently, his father had wanted him dead. His brothers, though, had worked to create a scenario in which he could live, faking his death and sending him to this remote mansion. I never encountered Michael's brothers while at the family's estate, but assuming he was right and it was one of them who had given me the letter, they were likely our only allies at the house. I don't know what he's thinking. It's been 10 years, Michael had muttered. To which I had replied, have faith. It was better to believe in something, even if it felt silly and unreasonable, than to lose faith in everything. My being able to find renewed belief in the kindness of people was what had allowed me to start smiling again after all. Because I was able to have faith, I was able to enjoy life once more. It wasn't an exciting or thrilling life. It was a humble, simple one with just the two of us. I wouldn't trade that light for anything. Some people might think it dull or dreary, but it was ours. Master, I really, truly appreciate that you want to help with the cooking. I do honestly, but... This is apocalyptic. This is mutinous. This is an affront to gastronomy. This is unearthly disgusting. Give me better ingredients. What? I'm not a bad cook. These are simply bad ingredients. Okay, you tell yourself that, buddy. If they were any better, they would taste just fine boiled. And it's not as bad as you claim, besides. You make a mockery of the culinary arts. I've been eating this for years. I don't see the problem. No, you've just been boiling things, man. Tell you what, yesterday I cooked up some northern pike that I had caught. It was some rice and vegetable. Oh, but I seasoned it with Himalayan pink salt and garlic. That was good. A lot of people don't like pike, but the thing is, you learn to season it. Then you can make, if you know how to cook something right and season it right, you can make things that people normally turn their nose up to really good. I've heard quite enough, Master. It sounds like we're gonna have to need to put your taste buds through some intense rehabilitation. Thank you. Got it. I have to teach him what real food tastes like. Otherwise, he won't be able to appreciate it if I make him something really good. Hold a chair steady for me, will you? I'm gonna wipe down the top shelf. I can handle it. I'm tall enough to reach without standing on a chair. It's not as simple as just running a rag over it. I've got practice, so let me take care of it, alright? There's a lot more dust than I expected. I probably should have used something to cover my mouth. You're going to want to hold your breath for this, Master. Alright, here goes. She's quite practiced. Is there any need for me to be holding the chair? Huh? What? Whoa. Hold the chair. You're... Ow. I'm so sorry. I didn't think there would be that much dust. Thank you for holding Master? Your hand is... What? Your hand is, it's on my chest. I don't know. It was an accident. Right, it was. It's fine, really. It's my fault, anyway. It's completely, totally fine. I can't even look her in the eyes. Could this be any more painfully awkward? Just don't worry about it, Master. Honestly, I should apologize for subjecting you to that. It's easier said than done. I have to do something about this stifling awkwardness. For one, it was only for a moment. I barely even realized what it was. But that's not the issue. I need some clever way to brush all of this aside. Something witty. That tells her I'm not bothered at all. I'm not concerned. In fact, I see no reason to be concerned at all. It felt like I was squeezing in a That's gonna go over well. Oh, fuck me, man. It felt like I was squeezing an obese rat. I hardly even perceived it as a breast. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the appropriate reaction to that statement. An obese rat? An obese rat? What? How utterly insensitive can you be? I'm gonna rip every last hair off your head. God! Let my hair out of this. Oh my fucking God. Look, I might not be a smooth talker, but I think I'm a little better than that. And actually, Final Fantasy VII game with Sephiroth. He has that look a little bit, yeah. Can't decide if that's weirder than describing touching one as a fleshy basketball. Let me tell you what. There is no way that you can describe that action and it not sound awkward. Okay? I'm only going to do this for a little bit more, then I'm going to wrap it up. Maybe one more back and forth between two characters, because, like I said, I got stuff going on with work today, so I got to get going. But like I said, after, well, actually not like I said, because in the beginning my recording was not on, like the fucking idiot that I am, and people may miss that. But no, I had to get on this again today, even though I was streaming for a long time yesterday. Things have just gotten to such a heightened point, especially with Giselle laying everything out at Michael and screaming that, and after that betrayal by the village, that I had to dig a little deeper. Like I had to play more. I needed to know what came next. It was really hard to just leave it there. I probably could have been streaming 5 hours straight last night. That was such an eventful part of the story. Anyways, let's continue. Say, Master, what did you do all this time by yourself? That's an exceedingly vague question. Say, when you were really, really stupidly bored out of your mind, what did you do to keep yourself occupied? Meditate? Just how many times have you reached enlightenment? I sometimes played chess too. Chess? Oh, wait, by yourself? Yes, I imagine how an opponent might react to my moves and play the other side that way. That's kind of depressing to think about. How about this, Master? Play a game against me. Do you know the rules? You bet I do. I do come from a family of merchants, so I keep up with trends and know all sorts of games. Oh. Prepare to meet your maker. So, who was I supposed to prepare to meet again? Come on! Have a little mercy! You trounced me! One more time. I just wasn't at top of my game. When am I going to meet this maker? What? How? When? Indian checkmate. One more. Oh, hold on, that's not fair. Take it back. Ah, my king. Please stop. Amateur. And you know that this is fun and this is lighthearted and this is just, you know, it's fun to see them going back and forth like this, but it's like these moments in the story would not feel so good if it weren't for the fact that this is coming after all of that, just like past 3 hours of essentially depression. Can you just go a little bit easy? You never asked me to go easy. This isn't a game. This is a slaughter. This is a one-sided massacre. About this maker. I'm looking right at him. That was actually kind of fun. No, it wasn't. It was miserable. Next time, we're playing something fair. Such as... let's see. Oh, I know. Arm wrestling. Huh? Arm wrestling? Yeah. You sit across from each other, you put your elbow on the table, grab hands, you see who can pin each other down. Who would ever willingly participate in such a primitive competition? Not interested then? Or are you afraid you might lose? Alright then. I can't imagine losing... I can't imagine losing to a woman. Okay, elbow on the table. Starting my count. Ready, go! Victory! Okay. Michael has probably not done anything to strengthen himself in those 10 years, so he's probably built like a twig. What was that look? Nah. Aw, this is just cute. Alrighty. We're gonna call it there. Absolutely cute and adorable. And finally some good stuff happening. Which only makes me scared. How is it all gonna come crashing down? Oh, that's gonna sting. That's gonna sting quite a bit. But you know, now I'm also curious, because we've gone so deep into this story, this fifth door now. Now I want to know, how do the other doors even mix into all of this. Like, now I want to know more. Now that we're starting to establish this part of their relationship and everything, and I do want to see where their story, comes to an end. I want to know a little more about the supernatural stuff going on, and I want to know what the connection between this and the supernatural and the other tales are. Now I want to learn about that. But so, anyways, I apologize, guys, for the fact that the first bit of the stream there was no audio. I really apologize for that. That was not my intention. I just was an idiot, and I did not press record. My apologies. But I don't know when I'm going to stream again. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not going to promise that, though, because I just have some other stuff going on. But we'll see. But you know what? Given that I streamed for 3 3/4 of the hours yesterday, I did quite a bit. And today, good God, is that just after just all of that horrible story with Giselle, and also Michael. It's nice to just see them finally having something to be happy about. But let's see where things go. We are certainly not out of the woods yet. There seems to be plenty more left. And biggest question I still have is, what is all about the white-haired girl? And remember, I don't think we got an explanation for that painting yet. There was a very, very pale portrait of a woman that Michael had. And I'm wondering if that's the witch. We'll see. It could be a number of things. Anyways, thanks for swinging by. I hope that you guys are staying safe and warm. And try to, I hope that you're happy. And if you're not, I hope that it can find you soon, and or you can find a way to make yourself happy. So, I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and take care.